Dan Dakich lights a fire under Luke Goode's ass, and he goes off in the game against Ohio State. The Hoosiers get the victory. Let's get into it.
Pretty simple. I win.
For three on the way.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this Indiana Hoosiers community. Indiana gets the victory. We got a lot to talk about. Mike Woodson had some comments after the game. He's testy. We'll talk about, is this a big change for this team? Or I'm going to tell you, from those comments that I saw, this is the same old team. It's the same old Mike Woodson. And just because you can pull a one-off game out of your hat against a team that looked like absolute dog shit in Ohio State last night, I mean, they just could not get out of their own way. We'll talk about that and more on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection, because Ohio State, what are you doing? Like, they had some of the worst turnovers. If this is your first time here or you're a returning viewer, subscribe to Indiana Sports Connection. It's totally free. I am not going to spam you or anything like that. Just leave your comments down below. Every 100 videos, I give away t-shirts from Rally House, so you will be entered to win that. And leave your comments down below, and normally I pick one of the comments, or I pick a subscriber that will win a shirt from Rally House. And the channel is brought to you by BetUS. Use my promo code Indiana125 and save 125% on your first 3 deposits. And 10% of the AdSense revenue on this channel goes to T2T.org. Thank you to them. Without the veterans, we are nothing. And now, without further ado, let's get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers. All right, so I know fans out there are definitely going to have mixed feelings about this game because, yeah, it's been a tumultuous week after Iowa and Illinois, and this was not Indiana's best showing. This was not Ohio State's best showing. Ohio State, not like a world-beating team. I had mentioned in the video I made yesterday, I'd watched them play a couple of times this year, and I've not been impressed by Ohio State. And that main guard, Bruce Thornton, Indiana did a good job not letting him make a lot of three-pointers, and they made it difficult at times for him on the drives. But let's talk about Miles Rice. He gets fouls early. Miles Rice's defense has to improve. I noticed in this game, Thornton, whenever he wanted, he could just get Miles Rice right on his hip. It didn't seem like any help came from anywhere on some of those drives, and that just has to change. I think Rice is a player, when the guy does drive in, he has to just assert himself more. He just has to be more physical. And that guy is a bigger physical guard, and Miles Rice really struggled. And some of those exchanges early in the game, it just seemed like he was overmatched. But other players, and I'm going to talk about Cannon Carlisle next, because Carlisle played like his best game in an Indiana uniform. And you know why he did it? Since Carlisle has been in Indiana, he's made 2 shots at the rim. He made 3 shots at the rim in this game. That's the difference, Carlisle. Like, you can take a bad shot here or there from the outside. If you make a few shots around the basket, or you're in the right place at the right time, you get to the rim, you put one in. It's just when you're continually, and he still did it in this game, he shot some real head-scratching shots in the lane. I mean, he loves to shoot contested 2-point jumpers, Carlisle does. And I'm not really quite sure what goes through his head, what goes through the coaches' heads. Nonetheless, Carlisle played better in this game. And yeah, we just have not seen that out of him at all. I mean, he's just been the odd man out. Bryson Tucker didn't play in this game. Malik Renew didn't play in this game. I guess I didn't even see where Bryson Tucker was hurt or anything like that. And midway through the game, I'm thinking, where is he at? Tucker was out. And then we got to talk about this, because it was the BALLO and Luke Goode show the entire way. And BALLO has selective times when he asserts himself and selective times when he doesn't assert himself. Now, this game, he played 40 minutes and really played a lot more time than he normally plays. A lot of times in this game, he did assert himself in and was able to score around the basket. He was unstoppable. And then the combination of him getting the ball inside and getting the ball to Luke Goode on the weak side for three was the difference in this game. Now, is this repeatable? As a fan, you watch stuff like this. Like, do you think this is a repeatable game? No, I do not. I don't think that this is the type of performance. Like, do we think Luke Goode's going to go out there and score 23 points in every game? No, I do not. Luke Goode did some different things in this game. He got himself inserted into the game, had that nice reverse layup, got to the free throw line, hit some threes, did some different types of things. Goode plays the best defense he can play for who he is. Goode and Leal are the two guys that seem to really insert themselves and even above Galloway. Leal gets the start above Galloway. What did you all think about that? I mean, Leal, I don't know if he's ever started a game at IU. I mean, he probably has one time under Archie Miller. I don't remember it. Leal, he provides just a guy who's going to do the fundamental things right. And there is not a lot of guys on this team that do that. But I really did think this game, it was where that they would have beat Ohio State worse if Miles Rice could have inserted himself and been more in the game. They need more than just two guys to be able to score. And maybe Malik Reneau will bring that. And I hope Malik Reneau plays off the bench and him and BALLO just help each other out playing in the 5 spot. Although we know that that is not going to happen. But this is against a weak Ohio State team. For some reason, we have had Ohio State's number. We beat them in the big comeback game last year. I've never felt like Indiana struggles at Ohio State. And I have to say, deep down in the back of my brain, it's like we're a basketball school. You know, we lost to you in football big time. I'm like, I don't want them to lose there. You know, there are still rivalries. I can't root against the team. I can't root against the coach. It's just too hard to do. So, yeah, the whole game, I'm definitely pulling for Indiana to pull this game out because screw Ohio State, right? I mean, we don't like them. The Ohio State, right? They're playing Notre Dame. Who are you rooting for? Ohio State against Notre Dame. Who are you rooting for? Most of the time, I always root for the Big Ten, but I mean, Notre Dame is who I got to go for in this one. But Hillbilly Monkey, we got a clip here of Mike Woodson. He gets super testy after the game, and he doesn't want to answer any questions about some of the things that have been going on around the program. Maybe you've heard of them, but yeah, he goes up there. I mean, he's really defending his record as well. I mean, I guess he should. You know, he set up all these cupcake games for us to play, and to sit there and to think like, well, we're 14-5, we're just fine. Like, we'll talk about it after we play the clip. But Hillbilly Monkey, roll the clip of this buffoonery from the coach defending playing all these cupcake games. Roll it.
And energy's just seemed a lot better tonight than it has been. How do you get that to be more consistent moving forward?
Well, guys, we're sitting here, you know, we've won 14 games, man, and I believe it's 14, and 14-5. I mean, it's not like it's 5-14. You know, I mean, we've played some pretty good basketball and had some good stretches. And, you know, the two games that we just didn't, we got our asses beat those two games. And ain't nothing you can do about it now. We just got to try to stay away from games like that. Hopefully we'll get the league back soon. But, you know, Kanan was used tonight.
This clip is the sheer reason why I do not believe in this team. A guy who goes out there and defends a 14-5 record when every single team, I don't know. You know, they don't do rankings in the NBA. Does Mike Woodson know what rankings are? Do you know what KenPom is? Do you know what the net rating is? Do you realize what that means? Okay, You don't just get into the tournament because you're a couple of games above 500 like in the NBA. Like, Mike Woodson doesn't have one freaking clue about what to do in college basketball, what to say in these press conferences. He is so far removed and living in just far off in outer space at this point with some of these comments that he says after the game. I mean, it is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, you're all testy about, we're 14-5. Not like we're 5-14. Dude, if you were 5-14 and you lost to, and look, we can look through this show's videos and every single game that Indiana's played. You know, they played a complete crap first half against Eastern Illinois. They played a bunch of these awful teams and played terribly against those teams. If you played for Bob Knight, you would know this shit, bro. Like, you would know this shit. Like, he didn't give a shit about wins and losses against weak teams. He was watching what each individual player, the amount of effort they were giving, that they were buying into the system that he was putting forth, and whether or not they were going to be able to be relied on in big games down the road. That's what he was doing. You played all these weak cupcake ass games and you established nothing out of all that. You're just happy that you won them, right? We won all these games. Look at all these games we won. Against Winthrop, Chattanooga, Eastern Illinois, SIU, Edwardsville. I mean, these are the teams that we beat. I don't think we've beaten, besides, Ohio State here tonight. This is our biggest win of the season by far. Ohio State's not even good. Okay, this is by far one of our best games. This is our best win of the season by far. Let's go to the next clip of him. This is maybe a good sign because this is what college basketball coaches have to do. Is what did Mike Woodson have to say after the game there, Hillbilly Monkey? Roll it.
Evaluated them game to game, starting lineup, or do you anticipate kind of?
It's all about feel in terms of where I'm going and what I'm going to do moving forward.
That's smart. It should be all about feel. I said that in the last episode I made. It's like college basketball. You got to ride the hot hand when you have a hot hand. It's not like the NBA where you just have lineup changes. You have guys on set schedules and they work it like a job. It's taken 4 years to see that small change. 4 years to see that small of a change. It took fans booing you off the court to see that tiny amount of change. That I'm just trying to map it out for all of you out there that like it's not going to change at all because you see how slow we are to react to change. And then this next clip, he defends what happened in the Illinois game. I'm sorry, when you give up 60 points in the first half, don't sit there and defend what the first 2 minutes that you guarded somebody in a game. Okay, newsflash, Mike Woodson, the game is 40 minutes long also. I mean, an NBA game's longer than that, so he should have that established in his brain that an NBA game's 48 minutes, a college game is 40 minutes, okay? But he's defending what happened against Illinois. Roll that clip. Hillbilly Monkey.
Or just was it more of just opponent based? It kind of felt like early on you guys played a little harder.
Our last game we came out, we started the game very well. At one point it was 10-8, and then we couldn't make shots. It got away. We couldn't get stops. I thought we played a lot better in the second half. But when you spot teams like that, it's hard to get back in games and win them. But we had to put it behind us. I tip my hat to our team because they could have laid down and they didn't. They came here to Ohio.
It wasn't that you couldn't get stops in the game against Illinois. It's that guys on the team, Umar Ballo, and he did it some in this game as well. I saw some of it in this game. He has selective times when he tries hard and selective times when he doesn't. He tried hard in this game tonight. Against Illinois, he was just walking around out on the court with no business to be out there whatsoever. The fact that you didn't see that as a coach, and you should call that shit out. I mean, I'm sorry, but if a player does that during the game, you got to call him out in the press conference. Yeah, if you're going to stand out there, you're going to stand out there and just walk around like that. Then you're coming out, man. Come on. Like, this press conference did not give me any good signs going forward. It just shows more of the hubris of a narcissistic freaking asshole that thinks that he can really just glaze over all of anything with like a win here against Ohio State. And it's just going to continue to be bad. I don't know why. I think it's harder to play at Northwestern here recently for Indiana. And they got some guys, that really take it to Indiana in a different type of way, and their crowd will be fired up too. Ohio State, Indiana gets it done. Mackenzie Mbaka just completely didn't show up to this game. Once again, Luke Goode is the big-time hero for the Hoosiers. It really means not a lot going forward with this team and everything because we're still going to fire the coach, and it's got to be coming quick because, look, they got it done in this game. Thank God they got it done in this game because if they didn't, oh my God, it was like the freaking roof was going to just like cave in on Mike Woodson. And nobody really wants to see that happen except for me at times. But, what did you think about Luke Goode's performance out there?
Carved from the sands of the Wabash River and formed into a monkey lamp that's sold at Home Goods. It's the Hillbilly Monkey Perspective on Indiana Sports Connection. I'll tell you what, that was the Luke Goode and BALLO show the whole way. And you're right, this BALLO guy, he has selective trying. He only try when he feel like doing it. And then some of the other times, you can still see him in the Ohio State game out there sloughing around, not moving his feet. And then at other times, when you see him really engaged in what's going on, the guy's like completely unstoppable. It's one of the most frustrating things to watch. Oh my God, I can't take it. He gets a burr up his ass one day, then he won't show up here, then he's gonna show up at the bar the next day, won't show up to the game. Then we're just in this cycle of people ripping people a new asshole on social media. Then all of a sudden, oh God, I'm gonna try hard because everyone's mad at me. You can't just try hard when everyone's mad at you. Just try hard all the damn time and you'll be way better off.
Yeah, that's right. Try all the damn time and you'll be a lot better off. That's right. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.